All right. Hello, everyone. How are you this beautiful afternoon? I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share with you. I am really pumped about what we're going to talk about today. So, big drum roll. Let me actually preamble this. See, a buddy of mine sent me this video, which I had watched all of the other videos pertaining to that, but it was one big speech by Elon Musk. And it was about, battles. And it basically said, hey, look, I lost a bunch of battles in trying to build what it is I'm trying to build. And in that massive speech, which basically kind of just hit the internet by storm, he wanted to convey the thought of risk, that if you don't take risks, you're not going to get anywhere. So, today, we're going to talk about it. What is risk? See, I had this massive epiphany that hit me as I was listening to this. And the moment that the thoughts started formulating and became one coherent, ginormous brick that hit me, I had to come on live. I had to say, hey, look, I need to share this with everyone. So I want you to message all your friends. I want you to get everybody on, because this is big. This is huge. This is so huge that it's got me this animated. I mean, you guys know I'm usually just calm, chill out when I'm here, but this got me animated. Let's begin. What is risk? It's a big question. We hear a lot about it. Examples of it, and let me just turn this phone off here. Hang on. Okay. Sorry about that. What is risk? People take it. People avoid it. People sometimes do absolutely nothing with it and just sit on it. There are a lot of people who abhor risk. There are some people who get debilitatingly weak in the face of risk. And all of this is what was going through my head when he was talking about, hey, look, we got to take some risks. If I didn't take these risks. And he went on to talk about, having $180 million to split between, and figured, well, if he took half of that and put it into SpaceX and Tesla, then he should be okay. Like 90 million should be, a good buffer. But he had to risk it all. $180 million, gone, gone, disappeared. Now, for a lot of you out there listening, watching, absorbing this, you think about $180 million and your mind goes into freak out mode. And then for some more of you, when you think he pretty much just about lost $180 million, he had to actually borrow money from friends to pay his rent. His words. Now, for many of you, you're thinking, you just blew $180 million on a risk, and then you had to borrow from your friends. And now your mind goes into ultra freak out mode. Here's the profound thing that really hit me. What really is risk that causes so much emotional content to come through a human's body? Because there's some people who physically, they begin to shake, they begin to panic, they have stress. I can even feel it right now, just thinking about all of the situations that I've been in where people didn't see something as just simple, that they saw it as a risk. And this is the profound thought that came to me. What if you could identify the core attributes of risk. And what if, when you really broke it down, there was no risk? I mean, just ponder that for a second. Everything has a meaning. Everything has a core system, a foundation as to why it exists. And risk is one of the big ones, because everybody uses the term, uses it as a term, or uses the word to represent everything you should never do. So, if any of you have kids and your kids watch Super Y, this is one of my favorites. Wyatt, the main character, he always says, "But why?" So you gotta understand, like, I was having this conversation not moments ago. Why? Why is risk such a nasty word to some? And why is it such an endearment to others? Does it have to be? Why can't it just be, hey, I'm gonna do something, and somebody else says, oh, okay? Why do people have this, oh, dude, no, whew, that's too risky, man. I can't even think of, yeah, no, that's what people do. But why? And then the completion of the thought hit me. Risk is just being unprepared. That's the only thing that actually defines a true risk. Hear me out now. I know some of you are going to try to justify this and get all argumentative. That's not what this is about. I want you to hear me. If you are taking a risk, usually the connotation is you're doing something that no one else has done before. But why has no one else done it before? There are a number of factors. Either the thought never crossed their mind, or they're just not that type of person to engage in that kind of thing, you know? And you've got to think beyond that. You have to go push past that. And I know for some of you, even just thinking that your mind has to push past something, it's risky. But it's not. Hear me out. Unpreparedness does not necessarily mean it's a negative thing. It's not a thing against you. Unpreparedness is simply that, one, you don't have, or you don't think you have the tools. So let's address that first. So you want to take a risk. You don't think you have the tools. Well, take a moment, address it back, and see, go through your mind. Do I actually have the tools to do this? Because I promise you, you're going to find that you have at least some of the tools. Here's why. The process of how we are inspired, it happens quite seamlessly. If any of you play RPG games, there's literally no difference. You work on yourself in different ways. Sometimes you don't even know that you are working on yourself. And as you work on yourself, you are actually stepping things up. You are upgrading. You are leveling up. And there comes a point in your life where a thought just kind of hits you. There is very good, solid, founded spiritual reason why that happens. It is because all of the work that you have done up until that point warrants you being attracted to that thought. So when you feel like you have a great idea, this is the reason why. It is because you have the, I'm going to use a big word here, you have the propensity, see, I know you're following. You have the propensity to actually carry out that thought. You have the propensity to actualize. Ooh, there's another big word. Actualize. To actualize that thought. Let me let you percolate on that for a minute. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah? You ready? Okay. You did so much personal work within yourself that the ether around you opened up and allowed you to access a thought that you now have a set of tools to actualize. So why does we jump at, oh man, that's too risky? Usually you're unprepared because of the fact that you don't know that you already did the work. So you're not aware of the fact that, hey, look, I already did the work. This is why this thought came to me. So as far as the universe is concerned, that idea is yours. No one else's, just yours. It is literally that simple. So I can hear the tack back going on. Yeah, but I don't have any money to do this. I don't have da 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 blah 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 blah. Okay, let me tell you something. I've been doing this publicly for over 10 years. And for every single person that I have taught, have mentored, that has actually followed this principle that I've taught them, they've seen the exact same thing happen. When you are aware of this new idea, this new thought, the framework for it is already in place because the universe is a place of possibility. The universe is a place of potential. Potential meaning the framework is already there. The only thing you really have to do is verbally, audibly say to the universe, I accept this thought, I accept this idea, let's run with it, let's go. And then you have to become aware, open your eyes, open your ears to the way in which those pieces of the framework start coming into your life. This is not something ominous. This is not some sort of woohoo woo-ha. No, if you pay attention, you'll actually be able to see how step by step, little by little. And see, that's the thing. We've been taught to look for fireworks, look for people levitating across the sky, and then we miss the smaller opportunities. Any biologist will tell you on a micro level, our bodies are so incredible that it's almost to the point of scary. Because all of our mechanisms are functioning, for the most part, at least 90% of the part, autonomously. And autonomously is relative because we're just not consciously aware of it. On a subtle level, they're carrying out the functions based on the thoughts of our mind. Now, I'm not going to go into the other part of that because that's a whole other discussion. We're talking about risk. How does this apply to risk? Well, if you see something as risky, it is literally because you are not aware of what you've done to acquire tools that the universe recognizes you have to actualize this thought that has now become a burning desire. So if you take away the lack of awareness, the unpreparedness, is it still a risk? I bet you anything that it's not. Here's the proof. On the other side, if you have the makings for breakfast that you want, you just go into your kitchen and you make it. Is that a risk? And don't try to listen. I know some of y'all do. Yeah, I could cut myself with a knife. Let's stop it. Right? Hey, stop it. Okay. We're talking about risk in a way that resolves the emotional regurgitation that we all do of, oh, that's too risky, man, I can't handle it. If you have the tools within you, then it's no longer a risk. Because what is a defined risk? It means that you're doing something that nobody else did and nobody knows if it's going to work out. Well, if you have the tools for something to do it, it's going to work out. Okay, let me break it down even simpler. The world's best carpenter could still build a house with a stone and pegs. I dare you. I dare you. I challenge you to that. You want to know why? Because he understands the underlying principles of the tools that are needed to build a house. So if he's around stone, he can look at the stone and figure out what is the density of this stone. Can it handle, hitting, like, causing that actuation. If there's wood around, then he can take that stone. See, here's the only problem, and not even a problem. The only thing is is persistence. It will take longer for him to build a house. That is literally the only thing that's going to happen. Is it a risk? No, because he's got the tools. That's not risk. And I'm trying to get this point across okay, we have to move away from just automatically assessing something as a risk just because nobody else has done it. If the thought came to you, then you have the tools. You have to then get to that point where you are willing to share in the awareness of what you have. Stop listening to other people BS you and tell you, oh, I don't think you could do that. No, you can't do that. They don't know what you've been through. They don't. They may see what you let them see on a day-to-day basis. They have no clue what you've been through. They have no understanding of how much resilience you have had to curate for yourself to be the person that you are right now. So don't undervalue yourself for thinking that, oh, maybe I don't have the tools. It's a farce. It's BS. And it's usually someone else's BS. Let's remove ourselves from thinking risky, from thinking risk. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to feel afraid. That's completely different. It is normal and natural to feel afraid when you're going into something that you're not fully aware of, as in a brand new idea. That's normal. That's everyday stuff. You just have to negotiate within yourself that, yes, I am a bit afraid, but that doesn't mean that risk, as per definition, is that because nobody else has done it, we have no clue, so you probably shouldn't do this. Oh, hell no. The universe acknowledged you by throwing this thought, throwing this opportunity in your lap. Don't toss it aside because some other person hasn't gotten to that place in their life where they could negotiate their own fears. That's on them. You have to stand your ground and recognize what the universe is actually saying to you. It's saying, hey, look, we applaud you, right there, you. You're amazing. Yep, that was awesome. In an RPG game, it means you pass the level, you pass the checkpoint. And the universe recognizes that checkpoint, that was yeah, it was cutting it close. But you got over. So, here you go. Here's a series of thoughts that we know you have the tools for, that you can now go out and excel. You can accelerate your life. Right? So, as far as risk is concerned, the only level of unpreparedness that you're experiencing right now is that you don't know that you have the tools. Search in yourself. Just take a moment to just dress back, unplug, block out the noise, and just go into your mind. I know for some of you that may seem like an extremely scary thing, but I promise you, the first few moments are the only moments that are actually scary. I know because I've gone through this myself. I still kind of go through this from time to time, let alone. My mind as a shaman is a very scary place, because the more awareness that I achieve is the more I can see. And I don't know. I haven't decided whether or not that's a good thing, but I'm fully aware of it. And I'm glad that I actually can see. Why? Because it gives me the opportunity to understand my awareness, to understand what I'm capable of, what I can assess as my tools, so that when those thoughts come in, I automatically know, oh, ooh, that's yep, I love that one. Mine. Give it there, give it there. I collect them and work on what tools I have to execute them. And if you do that, if you the listener, you right now, watching me right now, right here, you and me, okay, listen. I want you to come in close, real close, right here. I want you to listen to me. You have tools, and they are amazing. And if someone is like sitting or standing next to you right now and trying to tell you, bullshit. I was going to say something. You know that face, what that face means. I can't say it because we are live. I'm just... Ignore that person. Ignore that human. And allow them to go on their merry way. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Nod, nod. You have tools. You have amazing tools. You might have forgotten that you have tools, but that's okay. I'm right here telling you right now, reminding you, you have tools. And they come from your life, from the experiences of your life. When a new idea comes to you, those tools are adaptable to execute that idea. If you find that there are some technical aspects to this thought, then think of it as an adventure. You get to learn something new in order to truly execute this idea. Therefore, eliminating risk once again. That's how simple this is. So when I listened to that thing with Elon, I don't even know if he understands it like this. I'm sure he does. Maybe he might use different words about this, but he eliminated risk just by accessing the tools that he had. One of the tools that he has and still uses to this day is that he is extremely clever on acquiring talent that would help him to execute on his ideas. So don't knock it till you try it. Maybe the universe wants you to collaborate with something or someone else. And that's not a bad thing. Because if you understand the way that that connection works, the moment that you open up to that as an idea, the person or persons that need to be there, they become very much visible to you. And in some cases, they plop right in your lap. And you go like, damn, I was just, wait, you know? It seems uncanny, but this is how simple the universe actually works. Not all that complex BS that everybody tries to spin and tell you, no, that's not it. Simply pay attention to the fact that you, and especially in a time like now where people are bombarded with so much fear, you're kind of consumed by thinking of the fear instead of thinking about, okay, what tools do I have? How can I innovate? The only way to eliminate risk is to observe the tools that you have and reference them to their applicability to the ideas that you've been inspired by. That's how we win. That is how we win. That's all I wanted to share with you today. I know that you guys are amazing, and I definitely think you're amazing too. Let's chat again soon. All right? See ya.